Souffle saccadé, voilà qui laisse deviner que tout se décide, tout se décide.
On December 7th, we put on a show titled Topher and Keith and Sexism Forever. We wanted to address this issue because whether you are male or female, student or faculty, it's safe to say we have all witnessed or experienced sexism in some degree. For many generations, women and men have been discouraged from speaking up about any discrimination they may have faced, whether it is in the workplace, education, or anywhere in between. For women especially, standing up for themselves has historically been viewed as creating drama out of nothing and essentially pointless. This idea ties into our story of us that we will share with our audience. For the most part, anyone who wants to come to our show will likely want to help combat this issue and encourage victims to speak up for themselves. In our group, we each have a different story of self. Danielle has connections to SWE and Sexy. Liam is involved in the comedy community on campus. Rachel is involved in political and Greek organizations on campus, and Paul works on a podcast that works on humanizing misunderstood or marginalized people. Putting our joint skills, expertise, and strengths together to organize a comedy show will address sexism on campus and create our story of now. One of our main objectives was to avoid preaching at the audience for an hour, so we made that our theory of change. As discussed in organizing people, power, and change, people are much more likely to attend an event and join in if it is welcoming and comfortable. This was a big tactic we used in our recruiting process. Comedy is a much more relatable medium to reach college-age students, so they are not scared off or intimidated. It allows the audience to let their guard down and open the door for making an effective point. To build power, we contacted professors with service learning requirements, worked with Greek life chapters, and recruited personal networks. We hoped to reach groups that wouldn't naturally have an interest in an event on gender equality. After deciding early on that our preferred medium would be a variety comedy show, Liam reached out to the writers and actors he knew in his comedy organizations to start creating the show. Danielle and Rachel reached out to different Greek life organizations and campus groups to get them excited about our event and encourage them to attend. Promo materials ready, Eventbrite and Facebook event created and promoted, we had a presence that our potential audience could recognize. Early on, we set the date for Friday of Dead Week, knowing that planning the show would take most of the quarter. In hindsight, the show would have benefited from more promotion. While we ended up getting a decent turnout, we did not reach our goal of 100 attendees. At times, we struggled to meet the deadlines we had set for ourselves, which added up at the end and put us nearly a week behind schedule, which could have been crucial time for marketing. However, this did create a really intimate atmosphere between the audience and the performers, which really worked to our advantage and acted more as an enacted, grounded theory to see whether an event like this is possible, to form the relationships between the necessary groups, and to observe the reaction and effect of those attending. In the future, we would like our show to be just the beginning of an ongoing conversation between various student groups around campus. By using a comedic medium, people who attend our show will be more likely to remember our message. Sexism is prevalent and the younger generations need to stand up against it. While the show is meant to be entertaining and seemed to be well received by the audience, we want this to be just the beginning. We are hopeful that the structure of our show has allowed for this event to be put on year after year while adapting to any changes in our society that are relevant to this topic.